Up and away folks, and welcome to Gray's Trains. My name is Gray and this is my train. Yes, I've decided to have a little look at the Stainmore route, which is now available on Steam Sound Supreme, and I thought I'd take a little look at an engine that has never been in Train Simulator before, the IVAT Class 4 Mogul, also known as the Flying Pig. So we're going to be doing a little scenario here, so let's just load into it. So yeah, now finally you'll have the chance to actually have a look at my new fancy graphics in all of their splendour. I couldn't do any of that before, but yeah, I think we're just waiting for this 4F to come in, which incidentally you just need the Academy for it, so just the base game. Now this video has a slightly more serious purpose to it, because consistently Gray's Trains viewership has been, shall I just say, rather poor, and I would do more episodes. However, this series just does not grab as many people as my car content does. Everybody knows me for doing Annie the Alpine, and now Judith the Jag is starting to get some pretty good views as well. It's not really anything that I can help, to be honest. There's not really an awful lot I can do to make Gray's Trains more desirable. So long and short of it is that I'm just going to do these videos when the previous instalment of Gray's Trains has hit at least 100 views. I don't do it for the views, but at the same time there's a surprising amount of effort that goes into this. For example, a lot of these scenarios take about an hour long and can be quite exhausting trying to think of topics to talk about throughout that time. But also I have to go through the footage and cut out any bits where I'm either looking very awkward or I've just fluffed up my speech or whatever. And it can get a little bit disheartening when I'm doing this and frankly nobody's watching. So we're going to have a little go with it today, see how it goes, and yeah, if all goes well, then I'll be able to continue making more Gray's Trains content in the future. So let me just check this signal. Oh, it's not one of these, is it? I've been stood stationary, and this is one of those signals that only goes green when you're moving towards it. There's a surprising amount of these in on this route. Anyway, let's whistle for the off. There we go. I absolutely adore this route, by the way, guys. It does take a while to load in, and there are going to be some little lag spikes along the way from when it's loading up the next tile. Now, I've always had a soft spot for these engines. That's why I was very excited when this engine was announced back in 2015, 2016, thereabouts. It was announced a long time ago, and it went through a few developers before it eventually got released in game as part of this route. And I feel like this engine, it wasn't really going to be anything majorly special, I don't think, but it's still a very good engine at the end of it, and yeah, I'm glad to have it as part of my collection. I think that the 30 quid that the Stainmore Shap Eden Valley route from SSS, I think the £30 that the route costs is well worth the price of admission, I think, because you get this, you also get a revamped version of the DT standard 4 tender locos, both 260 and 460, a rejigged version of the RSC 4F, you also get the first iteration of Caledonia Works' E4, the Stainmore variant with the Stainmore cab. So that's nice to have that as in the game now. But yeah, and you also get a ton of rolling stock, and possibly one of the most meticulously made routes in Train Simulator. The detail that this route has is frankly astonishing. This route has been in development for years. It's taken a really long time for it to actually come out, and I think it's just so worth it because at the end of the day, I mean, it's a very atmospheric route. It looks fantastic. I absolutely love driving this route. Even if the load times are a wee bit preposterous, but that said, once we start driving over some of the bridges on this route, you'll understand the detail is amazing. I might even do another episode of Race Trains just to cover another bit of this route and maybe take another loco over it, one loco that I haven't featured yet. But what about the Ivot 4? The Ivot 4 is quite a nice loco all in all. It's just a standard controlled loco. There's no advancement on it, like there's no real steam chest. You get a performance mode, but all in all, it's just a nice trundling engine all in all, and you can't really ask for much more than that. Though the original model is quite a bit dated, and there are little problems here and there. But all in all, it's still a really nice loco. I still enjoy it. This is a shame though, you can't close the roof vent. Little bits of interactivity like that just make an engine, I think. But as you can see, well, as you can hear rather, the sounds are hardly shoddy. This engine sounds great. It's got a good sound set. Dare I say, it sounds a little bit like a Black 5. But, particularly the whistles, but all in all, it's a nice engine. And and there's a brief selection of the coaches once our frames have recovered. So yeah, we get rejigged DT Mark 1s, Period 3 LMS and T coaches. I think that most of the coaches in this route are DT. They're old DT products that have been rejigged for the route, so retextured with with Steam Sound Supreme sounds on them. Everything on this, the sounds are by Steam Sound Supreme, and it just helps with the atmosphere. It really does. Even though I've had my doubts about SSS over the last couple of years, frankly, like, this route kind of dispels with that. And I've also just noticed there's no glass in the tender cab. Or if there is, there's no alpha on it, so there's no reflection. Bit of a shame, but hey, what can you do? So this is one of the scenarios that comes with the game. It's about 70 minutes, so I'll try and cut this video down as much as I can, so that means you guys can get a nice feel for the route without being bored to tears. Yeah, we got some really nice sounds on the Ivot. Really nice sounds. Oh dear. Oh, I think we're going to overrun the tickle. Oh, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Well, we are going to overrun a tickle, but it's not the end of the world because the platform's quite short, so... Oh god, I put the brakes in release. You can tell I'm sort of out of practice with this at the moment. I've been more focused on doing my car content. Wow. Okay. They're only getting into one coach apparently. And I think I've just missed this stop. Oh, it's a go via. Oopsie daisy. Yes, top tip, everybody. Always look at the brief before you go and do something stupid. Yeah, which part of the route are we on at the moment? I think. Yeah, we're on this. Okay, so we've just left T-Bay. We're on our way to Kirkby Stephen and then along our way to Barnard Castle. So this is the actual Stainmore part of the route, and I just realised I've overfilled firebox. Whoopsie. Yeah, so this is part of the route which I have driven the most, admittedly, just because it's a nice little run to do. Quite simple, quite a straightforward run, to be fair. Of course, you get to climb the Stainmore summit. Open the dampers. I've overfilled the fire, so let's just bring that brake down a bit. Bring this back. Try and preserve that steam because I've already obliterated it. Well, this is possibly one of the best starts to a Grace Trains episode ever. I stop at a platform that I'm not supposed to stop at. I overfill the firebox on my engine. And I forget to open the dampers. Yay me. Maybe this is why nobody watches Grace Trains anymore. Gorgeous route. Absolutely love this route. And the engines as well, the sounds of everything, and just the detail that's gone into this route. It just really, oh my god, it just this route just transports you to the 50s and 60s. It's an amazing route, and I think it might even be suitable for late LNR, possibly. Some of the road vehicles though might not make it all that suitable for late LNR or late LMS days. But certainly 50s and 60s easily covered by this route. So the actual route in real life, this particular section, as far as I can tell, was closed in 1964, I believe? 1963. I think it was closed to passenger traffic in 1961, and then closed to, it was only open for freight until 1965. I might be thinking of a branch line nearby. But what I like about this route as well is that it basically merges with the Weirdown-Teesdale network route, and it would be nice if someone could actually merge the two routes together, because that would be a hell of a run. Imagine doing a run from T-Bay to Darlington. That would be great fun. But yeah, Weirdown-Teesdale is pretty much my favourite route in Train Simulator, just because I love a network route. And I feel like Weirdown-Teesdale doesn't get so much love these days, even though it is a cracking route. But that said, driving this, if Weirdown-Teesdale looked anything like this did, wowzers, I think it would probably be one of the best routes in game, period. And I need to put some water in the oil. Yeah, that's another little disappointing thing. The steam doesn't come out of the injectors when you're ejecting. Still, isn't it just a lovely engine? It is a lovely engine. Everybody, hit that like button if you appreciate the Ivet 4 Mickey Mouse. No, it's not Mickey Mouse, Flying Pig. Balls. You can definitely tell that they've tried to improve the performance of this route by the use of 2D trees. But I mean, it doesn't detract from the overall look of the route, because, well, this is a fairly sparse corner of the world for flora and fauna. You certainly wouldn't see like acres and acres of green forests around here. It's mostly going to be moorland and farmland. All in all, it looks fantastic. Should probably see if I'm on a hill. Yeah. Well, I think my fire is just about recovered. There we go, my steam generation rate is going up at a rate of knots now. If you put too much coal in your fire, the best thing to do is to throw it out the chimney. I'm not a real engine driver, as if you couldn't tell. I don't think this is too heavy a rake for an engine like this to pull. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 coaches, so I think we're well within this locomotive capabilities in any case. Oh, that's interesting. The camera views are pure Caledonia works. Hmm. That is intriguing. Maybe I can't remember if Mr. Chris Wilson has stated that. Well, I'm not sure if Caledonia Works have had a hand in the IVET 4. I'd be very surprised if Chris did have any involvement. But that said, I think it's part of the scripting camera view, so that might be SimNation's locomotion script on this, i.e. Mr. Rion Rhys Davies. Okay, so we're all clear onto the single track section, I believe. Oh, don't overfill that fire again. I just recovered. This engine does not like accelerating. On the plus side, we didn't speed through. The only problem is that we're only doing 14 now. I think you served me right for smothering the fire earlier. I think one thing I absolutely love about this locomotive is the animations. Like, you look at the animation of the side rods, and all in all, it is very well done. It's very smooth. I can't see any jumpy bits anywhere. It's yeah, just all in all very nice. And I just realised I haven't got a lamp on. There we go. Got to have a lamp on. Well, I love this little section because it definitely looks like an area that used to be double track and now has been singled out from the passage of time. The lines become less busy because you've got to think of where this route is. It was pretty much what connected the east with the west. So you had the West Coast main line that would run through T-Bay up to Penrith, and then you had this line and the Shap Valley, I think? No, or the Eden Valley. Yeah, it'll be the Eden Valley. So you had the Eden Valley Railway, which would have connected from Penrith to Barnet, well, to Kirkby Stephen at least. You'd have the Settle Carlisle running through here as well. This was quite a busy area of the British rail network because you had the North Eastern, you had the London North West, or at least Lancashire and Yorkshire main lines, which were connected with these lines. In fact, this line that we're on now would have been a northeastern line. So yeah, but because of the maximum axle loading on this section, the largest engine that could run down here would have been the Q6. And thankfully we've got one of those in game. Other engines that would have run along here would have been the G5 or Northeastern O-Class, which again is another engine that we have in game because of Caledonia Works. So yeah, this is a great route because you can run pre-grouping LMS and LNER stuff along here, though obviously making sure it's region appropriate, of course. It's got to be region appropriate. And of course you can also have some VR stuff as well. Well, a lot of VR stuff, again, so long as it's northeastern and Midland region locomotives. And I think that's why you just got a sheer amount of stock in here. But weirdly enough, there's one loco on this that comes with the route, which I've already alluded to, and that was the E4. Now that was a Great Eastern design, but they were specially modified for Stainmore, and I think they were used for pilot duties, if I remember rightly, so pilot duties and pick up freight. Very interesting because the actual class itself was I mean, they were generally relegated around Cambridgeshire, under the Great Eastern Network, and they would have, again, just been pilots, or they would have taken small small stopping passenger services, though I think they used to be express engines at some point. Back in the days when all engines used to be small. Don't want to speed. Speeding. Ooh, there we go. Would be a good idea if I closed the reg, wouldn't it? The engine might slow down a bit better then. This is one of my favourite spots along here. I absolutely love it down here when you go from one side of the valley to the other by the help of a big viaduct. It's great, absolutely amazing. Annoyingly, we're going the direction which is perhaps the least interesting because we're going downhill now. And I think this would be more interesting going the other way. Maybe I can rectify that in a future video. Go the other way, give myself a bit of a challenge. I know that the J21 is a loco that I've been wanting to feature on Grace Trains for quite a while, and that's very appropriate for this route. I have a worrying feeling that it's literally this till Kirkby Stephen, but then from there on we have the challenging run up to Stainmore Summit, and then down the other side. It's kind of annoying that we're just on a downhill section, but that said, it means that we can actually have a proper look at the route and what makes it so pretty. It is very pretty. Just again, the attention to detail as well, like the benches. I love the benches. Now, this has caused a little bit of discussion amongst me and my mates, because at first you'd think these would be snakes, but then look at the end of the tails. They're forked. So these are either, they could be snakes, or they could be dragons or wyverns or something. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that they are snakes or something a little bit more mythical? Again, comments down below. I do read every single comment, by the way. Like I said, I've got less than 400 subscribers, so keeping track of all my comments is quite easy at the moment. To make my life harder, hit the subscribe button. The one thing that I love about this game is that you may as well call it Beauty Simulator. Because to me there's nothing more beautiful than just a steam engine passing through the countryside. And there's lots of sheep. Meh. And some moo-moos. There's some, look, burgers. Lasagna. Milk makers. I think another little thing I love about this route is just how well everything blends together. Some of the textures are a wee bit fake looking, I think the politest way of putting it is, but the overall look of this route is just so nice. It's just lovely, absolutely gorgeous looking route. I love the cattle creeps as well. Yeah, there's a load of really nice assets in this route, and I think that's the main thing. The fact that someone has... I think this is all the work of only a handful of individuals. I think a very small team. It's why it's taken so long. I think it might have only been developed by one person, to be fair. And you can really tell that this was more of a passion project than anything else, because you just look at you just look at it, the quality of everything. You're paying more than a route on Steam, of course you are. You're paying at least £5 more. It's so worth it. You can't really put a price on passion, but you can. It's 30 quid. I love it when people make DLC in Train Simulator and have a real passion for it. I mean, yeah, I've just noticed another little detail. Look at this little animated tractor that goes tootling along. You don't get that on any routes on Steam, do you? I love little things like that. It's why I'm a big fan of the Whitby to Pickering Heritage line, also available on Steam Sound Supreme, but this one's a freeware route. It was a route I did want to feature on Grace Trains, but there was one problem with it. There's quite a big problem with this as far as I'm concerned. It's very defaulty, and it's a shame because I think that route deserves a fair crack of the whip, because the effort that the guy put into making that route is astonishing. The fact that you have basically an animated token exchange. You've also got the gates at Gromont, which are scripted totally different to any other level crossing in Train Simulator. Apologies for the frames, but Kirkby Stephen is not friendly on frames. I'm not sure why. It just never has been, as far as I'm concerned. The running position on the brake is a wee bit small. I'd probably prefer... Oh, it's just a stop. Oh, for God's sake. So we don't pick up passengers. Well, what's the bloody point? Do we actually pick up any passengers on this scenario? We've got to proceed, but annoyingly, because I opened the doors, because I assumed, and of course, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. There we go. Right. So we've managed to take on some extra passengers who are probably not expecting this train. Whoops. Well, there's Sirs and Rife just waiting on the platform for just any old train to come along. Oh, and I've just smothered my fire again. Oh, God. And we're just about to go up Stainmore. Because planning... Right. Well, I need to get rid of all that excess fire. Doing okay, funnily enough. I thought it would have punished me with poo performance, but no. I'm one of these people who loves advanced locos, I appreciate, but I'm not snobby. I like locos that just control nice overall. I'm not really someone who's just like, oh, it's got to have steam chest, it's got to have this, it's got to have that, it's got to have this, this and this. I'm more one of these people who goes, it'd be nice if this had this. Like, for example, advanced wheel slip, but unfortunately only a couple of developers actually put on advanced wheel slip on their locos. A relatively recent innovation as far as I'm aware in the grand scheme of things, because Train Simulator, like the base game Rail Simulator, wasn't really designed with wheel slip in mind. It was basically just an extension of Microsoft Train Simulator. It's amazing to think that this is all based on an engine which is about 20 years old. It is actually quite remarkable. People give Train Simulator an awful lot of flack for some things, namely for the outdated game engine and the fact that Dovetail games show absolutely no interest in updating the game properly, like making the game actually work. But that's why they've sort of abandoned it and gone towards Train Sim World instead. However, I would actually argue that this game still holds a place because of the fact that you can make it... if you stop looking at it as a game with, you know, over $3,000 worth of DLC, I think it's definitely over £2,000 worth of DLC anyway, and start looking at it as build your own train game. That's basically what it is. You pay for a base game and then you just buy the stuff that you want. There's no obligation to buy the whole shebang unless you're going into the world of freeware routes, but that's another story. I think one of the biggest shames is the fact that there's only one flying pig in preservation these days, It is a shame, but that said, these locomotives from this sort of era are kind of living on borrowed time anyway. To introduce a new steam locomotive after the war was, I don't know, I think we were a bit too confident in the technology. I think that was probably it. We were absolutely safe and secure in the knowledge that steam engine and, well, all the BR standards were designed to last into the 80s. And it's amazing how advanced diesel locomotives became by the time of the 80s. It is remarkable. We were just overly confident in steam as a technology, yet we didn't really look at how outdated or as labour intensive it is, as it is. And particularly after the war, when everything was knackered. Everything was absolutely knackered and requiring a lot more maintenance than it used to. Yeah. One of those things. Right, so I'm not stopping at Stainmore, I'm going through it. Gotcha, Squire. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, I love that whistle. It's a beautiful whistle. I love it. All the rest of them just sound like standard, you know, Black 5 whistles and sounds, but it's that little woo-woo that just sets it apart. Can I get it again? Can I get the woo-woo again? Oh, that was close, but still another nice little whistle there. Woo-woo. 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 Hey! That's a nice whistle. I need some speed. I can't just plod along at 20 all day. I've got places to go, damn it. Oh, I think it might be screening time. Yeah, boy. Screeny time. Yee. Screeny time. I love it when it's screeny time. The best way to win the heart of a railway enthusiast is always through the detail. Railway enthusiasts are drawn by detail. I know I certainly am. I appreciate detail and I adore it when someone attacks something with just maximum passion. This route feels like a passion project, and I think that's definitely something which a great number of route developers could probably take on board. I mean, look at this view, and you can hear birdsong in the background. This route is so pretty, like you legitimately cannot drive far without taking 1,000,001 screenshots. It's the curse of this route, I think. Let's go. Yeah, let's get the cattle creep in here. Beautiful. Oh, we're just approaching an epic bridge. Bila. This is Bila Viaduct. Oh, we might want to go on the other side. Yeah, look at this. Look at the detail that's involved in this. I mean, look, we've got all of the fire buckets along here. Look at all the ironwork that's gone into it. Look at the detail. It's just amazing. I think you're buying this route for the bridges. Oh. Those coach sounds as well. Amazing. What can I say? I'm in love with the guy who made this. Oh, we've got a light engine move. Might be a banker. I have no idea. Huzzah, we're blowing off. And there's the summit. Woo! Done it! And I have a participation prize now. We're overtaking a bus. We're doing nearly 32 miles an hour and we're overtaking the bus. Yeah, bus is slow. And here we go. Here's Stainmore Summit. Not much to it, is there? Now our engine is accelerating rapidly. Oh look, we got a sign saying Stainmore Summit. 1,370 feet above sea level. And now we got to descend the hill at 45 miles an hour. Just when the engine's blowing off. Yeah, this side of the route is definitely a lot easier on the frames anyway. It's a lot easier on the frame rate. There's an awful lot of scenarios to do on this route, and I've only really just tapped into them. I am definitely thinking of doing a couple more videos on this, exploring the other parts of this route. So this video is pretty much covering the T-Bay to Barnard Castle side of it. So I think the next one we'll do will be J21 from Kirkby Stephen to Penrith, and then from Penrith to Kent's Bank, I think. What we'll do on the last one I'm not sure, but I feel like I should perhaps look a little bit more in depth at an engine that I haven't really covered yet, so I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options for us to go down. Got a lot of avenues, because a lot of different locomotives would have operated around this part. So, in the words of Arthur Daly, the world is my lobster. Oh, I just realised another little modelling boo-boo on the tender. It is kind of a shame, and there are modelling boo-boos on the side but 4. It's a great loco, I really enjoy driving it. I haven't driven it that much admittedly, but it hasn't really downright offended me. I don't feel disappointed by it. Especially seeing the amount of work that went into it. I just feel as though there's a couple of little bits in the model that just look a little bit lacking. But that said, it got passed around from developer to developer to developer. I think it was originally started off by TAA Developments, and then it was taken over by Forge Simulation, I believe. So that's James Littlewood's little outfit. And then I think after that it went to Bosman Games, and I think after they couldn't fix it, it went to Caledonian Works. I'm not sure, I could be completely wrong on that, but that's what I feel is the history of this loco. It's not had an easy conception, I think I'll put it that way. It's been, yeah, it got passed around quite a lot, which is a shame really, because I feel like if it was developed start to finish by one developer, we would have ended up with a much better loco. That's not to say that the end result isn't a good loco, because I do like this. I love the prototype. I think it's a really cool engine in real life. And what with the Stania Mogul now out from Bosman Games, all we really need now is a Hughes Crab. And I'd love a Hughes Crab in game, because the only one that we've got is a rather disappointing freeware model from the dawn of Train Simulator DLC. It's a freeware one which has 7F sounds, I believe. I think the whistle was a bit more unique though, but all in all it's not a very good representation of a Hughes crab. The Hughes crab, I've always thought, is an unconventionally handsome engine. It's a very purposeful machine. Even though the Stanley Mogul was basically designed to be a development of it, I still feel as though the crab is just I don't know. It just has that. It just has a certain character about it. I think it's fair to say I quite like Moguls. I think Moguls are very handsome machines and very purposeful. They're not designed for flim-flam. A Mogul is not designed for flim-flam. When you look at the Churchwood Mogul, the Hughes Crab, the Stanier Mogul, the U-Class, the N-Class from the Southern, and I think I'm missing a few as well. But generally speaking, they're not really designed to be extravagant engines. They are designed to do a job at the end of the day. They're designed principally to just work, and I like that about them. They're just very honest engines, all in all. Because one thing I like about an engine is if it's just honest. Like, it's just here, look mate, I'm here to do a job, you know. I appreciate that, I think. I will admit, this is probably one of the most boring aspects of this route, is when you're just going downhill, because when you're going downhill for a long way, so there's an awful lot of just sitting back and coasting. Going up the hill is fine, going up the hill is fun, but it's just going downhill again, it's just a bit... the challenge is gone. I'm one of these people who loves driving steam engines for the fact that you get a bit of challenge on the hills. It's something that diesel locos just... they're just effortless with it. Saying that though, I am thinking like maybe if I'm going to do Grays trains, well, try and do Grays trains a bit more regularly again, maybe it'd be nice to do some diesels again. I'd like to do one on the upcoming Class 37/0 pack that's coming out from Armstrong Powerhouse. That would be good fun actually, because 37s are very popular diesels. What I would love them to do would be to turn their attention to the Muckrats, the Class 26 and 27. I'd love it if they could tackle those next, or at least the 31s. Or maybe even some pilot scheme diesels. Now that'd be fun. Some pilot scheme diesels. Have a simulator for them to randomly break down because they were rushed into service. And again, look at the detail on this. It's just amazing. It's because of all of these viaducts that the weight restrictions was put in place. But that said, I think it's yeah, it's just a wee bit more charming that only smaller engines ran along this route, with the exception of the Q6, of course, because Gerald was going to go where he wanted, and he wasn't going to let no weight restriction get in the way. There's this detail. No, this is Lartington. So if I'm going to judge the scenarios just on this one, because this is the thing, I think that you can't really give your thoughts on the route without taking into account the scenarios it comes with. So what do I think then? Well, in this scenario, I like it when you've got a little bit of an update going on. Like, I like it when you've got the basically the game telling you that you've got to do this, you've got to do that. I like it when you know, because then it feels like you've actually got a footplate crew going on. Like, you're the driver and you've got the fireman who's telling you, right, you've got to do this, we've got to do that, we've got to do that, this, that and the other. And I quite enjoy that. It's very situational. It sort of puts you in the cab. And not having that in a scenario, I don't know, it can make you feel rather lost. It's, yeah. But all in all, I mean, you know, it's not the worst scenario I've ever played, ever. There are a couple of scenarios I've played where it's literally just no instructions flash up at all. Like, you've got a passenger train, and you don't even take passengers at the station you're at. It's literally drive to the end of the route and take passengers there. And then that's it, and that's the scenario. And I don't like that. It's just not involved. So now we're on to a part which is modelled on the Weirdown-Teasdale network. As I said, whereas I love the Weirdown-Teasdale network, the problem is that the route is a little bit dated. Well, it's starting to date. But, I mean, just, again, look at the detail on this viaduct here. I mean, look at the telegraph wires coming through. Just the detail is extraordinary. It's just amazing. And we're approaching Barnard Castle now as well, which is also modelled on Weirdown-Teasdale, and I just feel like this route has modelled it a bit better. Just a little bit better. As far as I'm aware, the Weirdown-Teasdale network only became what it did because the guy who, I'm just trying to think what his name was. It was Derek something anyway. But he was working on Weirdown-Teasdale and wanted to do particular parts of it. I think he wanted to do, I can't remember actually thinking about it. But then he just sort of go, oh well, I may as well add this in. Oh, I may as well add that in. And I think the Middleton Teasdale branch was a total, like, afterthought. He just sort of tacked that on onto the end. I mean, it doesn't feel like a shabby product by no means, but yeah, it's a very odd way to develop a route. Anyway, we're just coming into Bishop Auckland now. No, not Bishop Auckland. Yeah. Barnard Castle now. And I just feel like on this route, Barnard Castle is just a little bit more authentic. And I'm just basing that off photos I've seen. See, I slowed down to 15 just in case, but there we go. I didn't need to slow down to 15. I think that's just for the yard. Yeah, it's kind of fitting here that we're ending a scenario here at Barnard Castle, where I started off the scenario with Gerald the Q6 all those videos ago. That was back in 2018, I think, when I decided to start making videos again. And now here I am, 2 years later, and I'm now at least 350 subscribers in. And yeah, and it all pretty much stemmed from Gray's Train, so you guys could probably appreciate why I'm somewhat bummed out if Gray's Train doesn't get as big an audience as I'd like, to be honest, because that's what got me back into YouTube again. Yeah, so anyway, gonna pull up. Okay, and then we'll open the doors, and I could say, guys, thank you very much for watching this episode of Gray's Trains. Whether I do another episode or not, I'm not sure. I definitely want to do a couple more on the Stainmore route anyway, so I'll probably make those and upload them regardless. But long and short is that if you guys want to see more content like this, you've got to watch it. At the end of the day, you've got to put in the views. Yeah, anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Toodly Pipski.